Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel PowerBud. Today's video is about how to generate Gerber files in Altium. So let's check what is a Gerber file. Gerber file stores all of the shape and location data for every element in a printed circuit board. In general, each layer in your PCB layout data will be placed into its own Gerber file. The idea is that individual layers can be used to prepare stencil for each step in the fabrication and assembly process. So generally, once you design a PCB, this is a design file. Like you can see, this is a PRJ project file which you can open only using an Altium, right? So similarly, like whatever you are drawing, suppose if you are drawing something, or if you are like if you are doing some word file, then it is like a soft copy. So in reality, you need a hard copy, like a printed circuit board you need in your hand. That is for testing purpose, assembly purpose, production, everything you need an actual PCB board. So once you are planning to print a PCB, that is right, printed circuit board. It is like a printing method. Then you have to generate certain set of files for the proper printing. Like if you are going to print something, you need something like a Word file or PDF file, right? If you want to send some text message through mail, different type of options are there. You can send in a text file format, PDF file format, Word file format, like that. So similarly, when you are planning to print a PCB, you need a certain set of files which will corresponding to each of the layer. Like for top layer, one file is required, ground plane one file is required, power plane file is required. Similarly for mechanical files are required. So all these things you have to prepare a document, and these set of documents are called Gerber file. The files which help you to print a PCB, that is the fabrication file. So the Gerber is a type of fabrication file. So that is about the Gerber file side. So let's check how to generate the Gerber file in Altium. First you have to go to File, Fabrication Outputs. Then from Fabrication Outputs you have to select Gerber files. So in this category itself you can say different type of file formats are there. So this Gerber file is one standard file format for the Gerber, that is for the fabrication of the PCB. Gerber X2 little bit advanced uh, file type. IPC2581 is the Gerber file which is the fabrication file which follow IPC standard. And NC drill files are for the drill option, like this via through hole pins, mechanical pins, mounting holes, everything you need a drill file that will define the drill diameter of the holes and also the position. Then ODB++ file, this is also one type of Gerber file, but generally the people will follow to generate Gerber files. ODB++, some vendors won't support ODB++ file. So for the internal inspection and all, you can use an ODB++ file, but the standard format is Gerber file. Okay, that's about it. And so you have to go to File, Fabrication Output, Gerber files. This window will open Gerber setup. So first one is the general settings. General settings will be asking you mainly the two things. What is the unit which you want to like convert the file and format. So earlier itself I am using an file, unit. So I think this board is around 200 by 100 So for me it is easy to cross check when I am converting this to millimeter. And all the unit which I am using is also millimeter based. So I am changing this to millimeter. Okay. Then format, which format you want. So for me, I don't want that much precise PCB because this is a test board. Then I can select 4:2. That means it will give a resolution of 0.01 mm. If you want something little bit more resolution files, then you have to select 4:4. That means 0.1 mm micrometer resolution. So that is the difference. So I am selecting the standard one 4.2 42 and millimeter. Then going to layer setup. This means which are the layers you need to generate. So sometimes you will be confused, right? Top, ground, third plane, and sometimes you will be confused whether I have used this mechanical 13 file or not. So these kind of confusions you can avoid. Like you can select like this 1, 2, 3, which are the files you are using. That is one method, but preferred method is select by used on layer. That means which are the layer you used. So these all checked layers are the used layers. So if in this method if you select the layers, you won't miss any layers. Suppose in mechanical 13 some drawings are there, but I forgot to add that mechanical 13 while I am manually selecting the layers. In that case the Gerber file is not complete. So you have some data in mechanical 13 but you missed to export into a Gerber file. That will create some problem. So what you can do, you can also always select from plot layers used on. That means whichever layers you used, everything will come here. Then drill drawing. You have to select plot all used drill pairs. Drill guide plots also same. You have to select these two. Then in apertures, you don't need to change anything here. Apertures means it is a standard RS274X. It's a type of file structure. So you don't need to change anything here. Leave it as it is. Means leave the default settings. Then in advanced settings also leave as it is. You don't need to change anything here. Then click OK. So you can see the files are plotting now. The file is plotted and you can see one file is opened. It is camtastic.cam file. So this is also a Gerber file format, but it is based on Altium. This is .cam file. So where you have to check is go to generated cams, camtastic document. Here you can see the Gerber file is generated. Okay. Don't check this cam document means it is a Altium based document. What you have to provide to the vendor or the PCB supplier is you have to provide this Gerber file. So this Gerber file is under generated Gerber file. If you are based on any settings change in your PCB, sometimes you can't see this generated file. So in that case, I will show you what you can do. First case is once you okay, I will show you what you can do. In that folder of the project, you can see project outputs. There you can actually see the Gerber files. This is the method. If this folder is not appearing here, then you can go to project folder and inside the project folder, you can see a folder name project outputs folder. So double click that and the files appearing in this folder is the latest Gerber file. You can see I generated the Gerber file as 1050. Now the time is 1052. So this is the latest Gerber files which I generated. Okay. To reach this folder directly, what you can do, you can go to this Gerber file, right click, explore. See the folder is opened. This is the another method. Now what you can do, so this is the Gerber file which we generated. We have to send this to supplier. You have to select all the files, send to compressed zip folder. So it will help you to create a project based Gerber file set. You can rename the Gerber file zip file. I'm renaming as SI demo Gerber. Okay. I'm copying this folder. So I generated the Gerber. Now how will you cross check whether you have generated the correct Gerber or whether you have compressed the correct Gerber? What you can do, you can select any type of Gerber viewer files or you can select Altium itself. I will show you another method. So I have a Gerber viewer file. This is Gerber Logics. I'm opening this file, this software now. You can open load zip file. So I am opening a zip file now. See, this is the file which I generated, SI demo Gerber. I am opening that file. Now you can see it will ask you whether to translate or not. So select all files and just click translate. Sometimes if it is not supported format, then it won't show here. So just translate the files. See, my Gerber file is generated. I can see, I can enable and disable each layer and then I can cross check. So this is the Gerber viewer which I am using. This is a free version, a freeware. You can also try this. See, I can zoom in and out. I can check everything. So this is my Gerber file, bottom layer, something like that. You can enable all the layer and you can cross check. I hope this video is helpful for you. And in Gerber file itself, why you are cross checking the Gerber file? Because you have to cross check whatever you defined in the PCB, whether it is reflecting correct or not, whether all the layers loaded properly, if there any unit change error, something like that, you have to cross check. So here you can measure also. Go to tools, measure. So I'm measuring the PCB size now, width. See, it's around 120 mm, around 118 mm. So this is my width of the PCB. So this is correct only. So like that I can cross check. That is the advantage. So always use a Gerber viewer which is available, whatever your company or whatever you are personally preferring, that Gerber file viewer you can use. And this tutorial also available in YouTube and all. You can try using different type of Gerber file viewers. You can cross check the fabrication files in Gerber file.